Hello guys, my name's Fenchurch and welcome to Clandestine, the co-op stealth hacker game currently in early access on Steam. I specifically call Clandestine a co-op game, even though you can play it single player, as the best way to play it is definitely with two players. The first player will be in charge of the spy, the character who is out on the field as you see me doing now. And as the spy, you'll be in charge of dealing with guards, collecting intel, and stealthily making your way around each map to certain objectives. But as this game aims to bring us back to the origin of stealth action games, you will find that you have no game map and no surefire way to make it through each level without being caught by security cameras and without setting off alarms or alerting guards. And this is where player number 2 comes in. So the second player assumes the role of the hacker, the player who will aid and guide the spy through each level. And the hacker has different abilities available to them, so they can do things like disable security cameras, they can open locked doors, they can disable alarms, and they can just advise the spy on enemy movement around the map and just generally support the spy in achieving their mission goals. And I said earlier this game can be played single player, and I don't feel that is the best way to play the game. If you want to play this game single player, the game doesn't pause when you go into hacker mode, so you need to find a safe place where you can leave yourself unguarded. You then need to go to your map and watch enemy routes or hack a door or something like that, and it just slows the game right down, and I feel that single player just isn't the way to play this game. So talking about missions, Clandestine seems to be in a pretty early stage in terms of the amount of content they have available for us to play right now. And at the moment there is one basic tutorial mission. There are also 4 challenge maps which can be played with different game modes and different objectives activated. And there's currently only one difficulty setting and no story mode has yet been implemented, although there are options for both of these in the game, so I assume they will be available at a later date in development. But it's not all bad news for Clandestine, as what is available to be played just now looks very promising. For example, the levels are well designed and the objectives can be very challenging. The visuals are very nice, and just what's available generally of the gameplay is enjoyable. There are, however, a few things that I feel need implemented before the game's release. The first of these is ease of movement, and what I mean by that is currently your character can either walk or crawl at a sleep-inducing pace. Seriously, it is really slow. Or they can sprint faster than Usain Bolt, and it would just be nice to have a kind of medium stance that meant stealthy movement at a reasonable pace. And I hate to mention other games when I'm doing these kind of videos, but I can't think of any other way to describe this than if you've ever played Splinter Cell. They've nailed this on the head. You can move around maps stealthily, but you can also move quickly, and that's part of what makes Splinter Cell so good. And I feel that that's missing a little bit in Clandestine. Enemy AI is another sticking point for me, and whilst the detection and patrolling routes are generally fine, and the enemies can often kill you with one bullet in close combat, if you are spotted, they're very slow to react to you, and they forget about your location far too quickly. And to explain this better, I've recorded a video I made whilst playing the exfil game mode, in which your objective is to make it from your starting point on the map to another specific point on the map by going through enemies and leaving as small a footprint as you can, so that's not as many kills and things like that. And as you can see, the enemy AI is so slow to react that I can simply stand up at my starting point and run from there to the exit of the map with relative ease, and I'm hardly getting shot. I certainly would have expected to be killed, and I just feel like this is something that needs to be changed somehow. So back to the good points about Clandestine, and one of the most promising parts for me, aside from the completely locked story mode, is the character loadout screen. So currently you'll get to choose your loadout before the start of each mission, and while this mode also seems to be in the fairly early stages of development, it's exciting to see just how much detail they've gone into with what's available already. So for example, choosing a specific gun can mean the difference between more or less bullets per magazine, or more or less stability when you're shooting. There are also a number of gadgets that can distract and kill enemy guards, and you only have so many equipment slots to fit so many gadgets and so many magazines in. And I feel that this part of the game excites me so much simply because there's so much that you could do with it, including things like with the challenge maps you could have only a certain gun available, only a certain amount of bullets, you could only have a certain gadget, and you have to get through the whole level, not killing a single enemy as fast as you can, and there could be leaderboards and just like daily challenges, and I just feel it could build a community around this game, keep players coming back and keep playing Clandestine. So to sum things up with Clandestine, it certainly seems like a game that has a lot of potential, especially for me with regards to the story mode and the possibility of challenge maps with leaderboards and things like that. But as things stand, Clandestine still needs some work done to it before release, which I'm sure will happen, as this is still in early access after all. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I've been Fenchurch, and if you've enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you gave it a like, and I'll see you next time.